Okay, today is June 23rd, 2015. I thought I'd do a quick video just to review, a couple stock that I mentioned over the weekend in my weekend video. The first one is Facebook, and on Facebook we're talking about, coming up intact, the new high, its all-time high, which it did today. But before we get there, let's talk about that. Let's go back and take a look at the weekly chart here. Remember the weekly chart that I put up this weekend in the video? We're basically talking about this price channel here, and essentially I'm looking for Facebook, after it broken out into a new high, then we're looking at the possibility of coming up intact, this upper price channel trend line here somewhere around this 92 area here. Okay, so if we go back to the daily chart, and let me put back some of those those price level that we've been watching. Okay, and here's this 82 level that we've been watching, right? Okay, so we're basically looking for it to reclaim that level, which it did a couple of days ago, and it came down, sort of like tested a little bit, right? Then it gapped up, and the next level that we're watching is essentially to retake this, get above this pivot high, right? This closing high, which is 84.63, and it took that yesterday, and then the all-time closing high, 85.31, and then the intraday all-time high, which is 86.07. So the closing high and the all-time high was taken out today by this big candle here. And as a matter of fact, this candle actually doing after hour, it actually went up above 88 before it pulled back a little bit. So the thing is, we're basically looking for it at least to come up and tag this particular trend line here, this little bit of a resistance up here. And let me put in this Fibonacci retracement, and then we'll kind of get some projection of what we might be looking at. Okay, so let me see if I got all those extension on there, and then okay, so here we have the let me get rid of some of these lines so it won't be so cluttered. So what we got here is this retracement coming up. We trace it 100% from this peak here, which is the all-time intraday high. So right now at the 127 extension, we're looking at 88.59, somewhere around that. And I tweeted that out today also. Basically, I think one of my followers, we were kind of joking about, swing trading versus day trading, and I'm saying that I'm looking at this 88.59 as the next target. So and if it get above this, right, that the next one is 89.91, so basically like $90 range. And you can see that 1618 is somewhere around 92, and that's essentially pretty close to near the upper price channel trend line here. So those are the level that I'm kind of keeping an eye on right now. Now you can see that it kind of nice run up off of this base here, this trend line here. So also the other thing is, you might want to tighten up your stop to kind of lock in some profit, because if this thing come down and retrace itself, you want to make sure that you don't want to give them all back. And remember this 86.07, I said, this is the open interest chart that we were talking about. That 86 could be a support level, right? As it pushed through that 87 level, and I put down that that could be a support of 86 when it come down, because this is basically that level here, 86.07. Okay, so essentially that's the trade for Facebook, some of those levels that you want to keep an eye on. Okay, so 86 support, and maybe 88.5, the next target level, to see how it hold up. It might go tag it and then maybe pull back a little bit, right? So don't get too spooked out, if it pull back. After all, it came up from a long way, so if you basically been playing off somewhere around this area here, you probably got in on the low 80 and then come up in this to the 90 mark. It's it's a pretty good run. Okay, so and then the next one is Twitter, and let's go back to the weekly chart here. And then on Twitter on the weekend, we're talking about this hammer, right? This hammer candle here. Okay, right? This hammer candle, and it was kind of interesting. But I also mentioned that I probably won't get into the trade until I get above this 38.20. Well, I have changed my mind. I think I might, look for some opportunity to play this, stock here if the setup, come up, because the price action is kind of enticing. So I'm not sure that I'm going to play it yet, but certainly kind of have me looking at it. Okay, so if we go and take a look at on the daily price, right, you can see that it held this 35 level, right? It came down and it kind of came back up here. Okay, so it's holding that level right now, and if we could make a move and start going away from this pivot, pivot point, then I'm looking for it to come up to this 38.20. So if we go to an intraday chart, I'm putting up a 78-minute chart. The reason I'm using 78, it's all individual preference. You could use 65, 60, 30-minute or whatever. Okay, so the reason I'm using 78 is it gives me 5 candle per day. Okay, and then you got 5 candle per week and close to 5 per month and so forth. So it's just a consistency of 555, right? Okay, so it's up to you. It doesn't really matter, right? Okay, so let's go and take a look at this 38.20 level, right? Because I've been talking about this 38.20 level, right? Okay, so you can see that it came up a few times and it kind of backed off, and here it came down to this support level. Then when it finally broke, that's never could be able to get back up above this 38.20. Okay, so right now, essentially, I'm looking forward to coming off of this this base here on this 35.09. Remember a while back, we're also looking at this possibility of an inverted head and shoulder, and maybe try to play this up to this point here, right? But then it kind of pulled back here, sort of a failed inverted head and shoulder, although it did make this move and pop up here and do a close to a major move, right? So but right now I'm kind of looking at the other possibility is this particular inverted head and shoulder pattern, right? You could have this, right? Okay, but what I'm really doing is a little bit more straightforward than that. I'm just going to play off this wedge. Okay, so essentially this support line here. So if the price could hold above this support, then I'm looking for it to come up and break this, right? Break above that, and then possibly get up to this level, and then get to this 38.2. Okay, so that's basically what I'm looking at. This 38.20 is my target level, and that's what I'm want to play off of. Because the other thing you want to notice is this candle here, right? Okay, engulf all these candles, right? Right, and then also you can see there's another engulfing candle that engulfs these candles. Okay, so that's why I want to play something like just going off of this particular wedge. Maybe use a stop somewhere below here. So essentially, if we break this trend line, come break below this pivot low, I'm out. But maybe try to find somewhere around here some setup to get on, to hop on, and then play it up to these level and get up eventually, play it at this 38.2, because it does give you a good risk and reward type of ratio. Because let's say, for example, we got in at the above the high of this thing, and here's our stop. So you can see that if the price get back up to the 38.20 level, that's a 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio, which is not bad, right? So that's that's what I'm gonna keep an eye on and see what kind of a setup might come above, and maybe try to hop on and get a trade going on Twitter, and then try to get it up, at least get up to this 38.20. And who knows, by the time we get up there, this thing might take off. And hey, would it be nice if somebody announced that they will buy Twitter for $50? Nah, just kidding. That's a pretty wild dream. Anyway, okay, let's take a look at GoPro. We'll also look at GoPro this weekend. You can see that here's this little bit of a support when it come down here, and we got this little bit of a doji hammer candle on a weekly basis. So essentially it got a little support here, and then came up, and you can see that there's a little bit of an inverted head and shoulder here. And if we go to the daily price chart, we probably could see that a little bit more clearer. So you can see that here is this, inverted head and shoulder, and the major move that I have marked off here, this 80% is somewhere around here at 68.28, and the 100% is somewhere around 72. Okay, then the other things that we also notice is that this thing, well, before this 2 days, I was basically looking at the possibility of a bull flag, right? Okay, so right now it turned out to be maybe a little bit more of a bull pennant, but doesn't matter what it is, still the same play. All right, so basically doing this, and here's that 80% major move and 100% major move. So this put it up somewhere around 67, and this is 68 and change. So target this thing somewhere around between 67 and 68. Okay, on this particular move here. All right, because you also notice that you got this nice little inside bar setup here. Okay, so if it if it go above, hop on. If it go below, get off, right? So that sort of deal. Okay, so we might want to look at something like that for a possibility. Okay, so just adhere to your stop. I mean, any kind of trading, you gotta, it's a 50-50 proposition. Any trade that we take, it doesn't matter the setup give you a 80% edge or something like that. Every trade that you take is a 50-50 proposition, right? Either it's gonna go your way or it's gonna go against you. Okay, so let's say you have a setup that is 80% of the time that it will go the direction that it's supposed to go. But every time you put in a trade, right, it could be fall within that 80% bucket or fall in the 20% bucket. Still, it's that 50-50 proposition, right? That's why understand that it is a 50-50 proposition every time you put in a trade. So that's why manage your stop and manage your risk. Okay, so that's it. Good luck tomorrow.